be a more question.
We'll leave it as
All right.
He's good at the concise, and then leaving room for.
I'll sit over and play the bowls for us while we're doing coaching.
How's our angle?
Angle's fine. Let's see. Let me
Maybe
adjust that slightly before we start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna turn a little further, but there was activities on the porch.
Yeah. Good idea. So smart. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Surrender Lab. Tonight is Thursday night. It's COZSNUG night. Tonight is all about, fostering some good, authentic discussion. Someone else just showed. Someone else, more people just flowing in.
It's after 7:30. Put your butts in here.
So normally on COZSNUG night, we
They're just my kids.
we've in the past we've decided to ask each other some questions.
I want to do that very gracefully.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
You did it.
Okay.
Hell yeah. This
So,
makes for right
cool, guys.
I want to sit by you.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to Surrender Lab.
Hi.
Glad to see you all. So tonight's Thursday night. It's COZSNUG night, and what we do in COZSNUG night is we ask each other questions about our lives. We have a bunch of questions right here. I could have them pass this.
Well, before we get into that, maybe
Before we-
let's define
let's
define COZSNUG and walk through that why
I'm going to define COZSNUG first. Perfect. COZSNUG is a new word that we've created that means to be cozy toward others. So to create a COZSNUG environment is to be an environment where you feel comfortable with the people around you. You feel like you can be your authentic self and just be completely natural. I think that's an environment we all want to be in. I think it's something we all strive to create for ourselves and people we love and the people we care about most. So one of the things we do is we want to create a better social environment for ourselves. So I'm sending out these questions that are all just kind of questions like, what do you value most in life? What are you trying to work on right now? Where will you see yourself in the future? Just those kind of bigger questions that make you think about, all the things in your life that kind of bring you to a state of, clarity. And because we want you to be feeling like, you have people around you that all can support you in any way. So, we're just trying to open up that kind of conversation with an open, honest community.
Right.
Can I say one thing about the whole concept of community? Because every time I hear that word, I'm like, this is so much more than community. This, to me, feels like something beyond community. This is more like just the willingness to say, yes, I believe in this movement. I want to move myself in this direction because this feels like a natural path. So it's more of like a movement. What do you guys think about that concept?
I mean, unity. It's a movement towards unity. I mean, community. I do get the clunkiness that can kind of endear, but
there's nothing wrong with it. We respect and love community, right? That's what we want. We want the most is community. Look how much community we have right here. This is amazing. We all get together and just talk.
Comfort.
Yeah. Anyway, I just like the idea that we're always talking about the openness of, because these words are all malleable, right? Everything's living.
yeah.
Every word can be changed and all of our words matter. So let's just try to put together the most cool words ever, and all of our words matter. We all care about everybody's input.
Right. And well, to start, we had a whole list of questions, but I think what we've kind of discussed and figured out, I want everyone to answer the same question and everyone have a chance to speak and talk. And then
Only if you want to. You don't have to, obviously.
right, you don't have to. But and then if you have something to say or you want to add, hold that thought until we've all had a chance to speak. Talking with Ken, when each of us does have a chance to talk, it helps us feel more open to then also add what we want to add later on. Like if someone doesn't say anything, it's harder, like psychologically harder to speak
brings
up.
along layers of relatability to the
Right, and
Well
that's
said.
all answering the same question gives us all a relatable fact. And then, yeah, sitting, thinking about, oh, what am I going to say? Because we're all saying something different. And the first thing that comes to your mind doesn't have to be the most in-depth answer you think you could come up with, but the first thing that comes up, that's usually the best thing to say. And we all most of us can relate to that. And be careful, we are live. So if you're talking of anyone else, be careful of mentioning names.
Anything you don't want to be publicly known by every single person. So just really respectful of that,
I think since we have a few new faces tonight, I think it'd be best for everyone if we start by everyone just saying,
awesome
my name.
idea.
So
Right.
we're all more familiar with everyone else. Just
Right.
everyone does it.
And who your relation is to the group.
Yeah.
So I'll start. I'm Brandy. Ken is my partner, and
Wow.
everything else above. And Ashton,
We're lovers. You can say it. We're lovers. Of the highest order.
Ashton is also a very close personal friend that is working.
Who's
help get
also
this
a
going.
lover of ours. However,
You
not in the
guys-
way that most would say that. But definitely we're in full love with Rama.
He's family.
He's
Right.
definitely family.
We'll go this direction.
I'm Ken, and also now Neo, the gentleman dragonfly. Because I found out that we can go anywhere we want and do anything we want. I was always so fascinated by that dragonfly, but you can call me anything you want, and I'm just perfectly fine with that because I'm just enamored with every one of your beauty, and I'm just learning from every one of you how to amplify my own existence. So thank you.
Awesome. I'm Ashton. A couple of you have probably heard Ken call me Rama a couple times. That's an artist name I'm trying out right now. I'm taking right now. It's
Smooth.
yeah, really like it. And I know Ken. I've known Ken for a while now. We instantly vibed because we both love the same things. We love surrender. We wanted to make this right now. This was our dream, and here we are doing it right now. So it's really thank you for all being here.
I'm Kelly. I'm really longtime friends with Lincoln here. I can't even remember how long it's been, but I'm really excited to see what this is all about and get to know everybody a bit better.
Nice. You're so welcome here. Kelly has some serious talents that I have discovered, and I'm like, what the? Can you please be sharing these more often, buddy? This is too cool.
Thank you.
Nice haircut. You look very nice.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Lincoln, like Ashton and me and Ken met, we connected pretty immediately. It was, ever since then I've just been like, well, the resonation, like the harmony there. We need to vibe, we need to create,
Right.
We need to work. So,
Right.
so when you said that this is the thing you were doing, I was like, let's check it out. And I've been back every Thursday nights and a couple of Mondays.
Add massive value
Starting
constantly.
over.
Look at all the value that's constantly being added in by your being a link, a really important link. All right.
I'm Braden. This is my first friend in Utah. I used to live in Tennessee. I just moved here about 11 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wrestled in here. So you wrestled in Tennessee.
Yeah, and in Washington State.
Oh.
So yeah.
So Washington State and then Tennessee and wrestle. Okay.
Yeah. And then he introduced me to Ryder. Ryder was my second friend. Then they introduced me to Denny, Luke, and then what's your name again?
The newest friend in the group. This is amazing. I love it. This is so good.
So I'm Owen. I've been friends with Ryder for about 2 or 3 years now. He's my best friend. He's more like a brother to me. And then Ryder introduced me to Ken, and just like Ashton and Link said, me and Ken kind of just immediately vibed. And right now I work the social media for empowering empathy.
Hell yeah.
I remember how this part works. Am I next, I guess?
Just
Okay.
You want to be?
I'm Danielle. Everyone calls me Danny. I'm Ryder's girlfriend. Owen's one of my good friends. Ashlyn is my best friend. And And I know Luke because of Ashlyn, and I know Braden because of Owen and Ryder. And I know Brandy and Ken, and Zach, and
She's just one of us.
Yeah, I'm Ryder. I'm Brandy's son, so I kind of have to know her. So,
Yeah.
You're kind of like a little bit of a vicarious son right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah.
Hang out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then these are all my good friends.
I'm Luke. I'm Ryder's friend. I'm also Owen's and Braden's and Benny's. And this is my girlfriend Ashlyn. Yeah, and then what's your name?
How do you spell Ashlyn? There's a million spellings, right?
Not two N's.
Not two N's.
Yeah, I don't know why 2 N's, but
Hey,
I'm not.
I'm Ken with 2 N's. Is it wrong?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is, Ken. Autocorrect thinks it's wrong every time.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually right.
Okay, so maybe it is wrong. Crap, I need to think this over.
But yeah, I've known Owen for like ever.
Actually, Ken, she and I took the same Chinese immersion program.
Oh,
From
you know
first to
Chinese
second.
as well. Can you guys speak just the tiniest little Chinese for us together?
Um,
Tell us something,
Oh my
something,
God.
some kind of inclusive.
Seems like, whoa, pinch.
We say that to each other all the time.
Wait, I'll hear it again.
Shinzai, woyo, ping chili.
Pink chili.
So that's from a,
There's ice cream.
it's from a,
John Cena's
John
interview.
Cena, John Cena made a video a long time ago where he says, Shinzai, woyo, ping chili. That just means right now I have ice cream in Chinese.
Oh, right now I have ice cream.
Well,
Yeah, so we're just constantly calling each
Yeah,
other
that's
Pink
responsible.
Chinese.
It's fucking John Cena. It's like a non-ironically fluent in Chinese.
I know. It's actually like such an interesting thing about it.
All right. Ashley, did you want to say anything about yourself?
Oh, yeah, and I'm dating.
And your dating.
Oh, yeah, and I love dating.
And you guys are best friends. This
Me
is-
and Ryder have been married.
We
for
literally
2 years.
pushed him out of the way
Well,
when she
best
came
friend
over
is
today.
Danny. Ashley,
We both
he's
pushed
best
him
friend
out
of
of the way to hug
Danny's.
each other.
Definite friend of ours. Just have to trust me on that one.
Okay, I am Jennifer, and I met Ken sitting in the amazing hot
Oh
springs,
my.
enjoying nature. I would say the ultimate COZSNUG experience.
Right?
We
You
were
guys
very
also-
cozy.
I was like, oh, I love you guys right now. So easy.
Yep.
Your whole family. You and Travis and your 2 oldest boys, or 2 of your boys were there.
Yeah, there was our 2 of us. Yep.
Yeah, it was magical meeting you guys.
Yeah. That was awesome.
And Travis was gonna be here tonight. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it.
He was. He got stuck in Wyoming on a job that wasn't supposed to take him that long. but he's
Ooh,
still
so
there.
he got stuck up there. Oh, gotcha. Alright.
Hello, I'm Zach. I know Randy, Ken, and Rama, and Link, and Danny, and Ryder.
Come on, we met last night.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, that's right. So, dude, I'm so sorry.
I was gonna
That's my
compliment
mistake.
your shoes. You lost that.
I'm sorry, I missed my bad, dude.
Were you still complimented later, maybe?
I will. Those are awesome shoes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, the question that we are all, well, I'd like all of us to answer.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to pass it.
All right, and I'll start it out. I'll start it out, answer the question, and then we can go. We'll start here. We'll go around the opposite direction of where we just came from. Since thank you for waiting, Zach.
I got nothing but time.
So, what is something that you find really beautiful and inspiring in the world, and why does that resonate with you? And the first thing that I can think of myself is, I used to think that I couldn't take care of plants or any other living thing unless it cried, unless it could actually cry or say it was hungry. So I've done well with pets and my kids. My mom taught me a little bit more about plants, and I've been picking it up very slowly. Last year, Ken and I had started a garden, and just within that, like all the pests, earwigs, ants, pretty much ate most of everything. And we were trying to be organic, and we're like, well, now what? And since then, like I've found an interest in tea. Ken and I both found an interest in tea and learning more about the substance with natural plant medicine. I've just more interested in, like it's
So what happens when you drink rhubarb root? Just a simple like little thing, like for example, because it's really interesting. So I think they'd be interested to hear.
Okay.
Or anything like that, like any of them, like you drink this and this happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry,
We'll get to that.
sorry.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Organic, trying to be organic.
Yes, more organic, but also like we are here as like we're all one. We all have an effect on each other, everyone around us, and this planet, and this earth. We need food and substance for our bodies, and so do plants and all living matter. So plants are such a natural thing. For example, like I work with elderly clients that are on medications, and a lot of medications cause constipation or other issues. But finding like rhubarb root, which I'd never even heard of, didn't realize was a thing, is a natural laxative. But it's cleansing at the same time. It cleanses your colon of toxic metals, even like the buildup of metals that you've had in your system that your body doesn't need. And it works better than stimulants and laxatives because, I mean, you drink tea at night and wake up in the morning and there you go. You're not like stuck staying home for a whole day. And a lot of these teas are doing the same thing, cleansing your airways, your lungs, your organs, and I'm just finding that that's part of nature. It's here for a reason, rather than creating why are we creating chemical things doing the same thing that really our bodies aren't absorbing, and they're serving one function when a lot of these teas and plant medicines are serving so many other functions and healthy for us, help stimulate our organs and cleanse them at the same time. So that's what I've found.
I think it makes sense that we want to emulate the effects of natural medicines and herbs, but
right, and in food.
To the degree that we've neglected them is a little out of balance, and it's probably great to bringing attention back to the fact that hey, we don't have to be giving money to pharmaceutical companies and drugstores and all these other people for
just solid
basic minor things that you can probably find in your neighborhood.
Absolutely. And if we had all the food at our fingertips that give us every substance we need, that would be amazing. We don't. I mean, a lot of us are limited to what natural food sources we have, and even store-bought stuff has lost a lot of its nutrients. So tea and leaves and herbs are just pulling a lot more stuff back into it. So anyway, that's where I have found my interest has been lately. So what, Zach? If you need me to restate the question as we go along, let me know.
It was just something that you find a lot of joy.
Inspired.
Oh, okay, right. So,
Why
and
you
why?
relate to it?
Okay, so I'm really easily inspired by people, right? And the reason for this is because like I love communicating, and I view people as like these really interesting, vast, deep like data banks essentially of like experiences and all types of knowledge and all types of other random stuff that you would never think that you'd get out of another person. But if you engage in open, honest conversation with people, like you just learn the wildest shit and like you find like all this cool new shit that you've never heard of before that's out there in the world to further inspire you. So I get a lot of joy and inspiration from other human beings, and the more open they are to conversation, the better, because I'm a talking motherfucker. But I'll keep it short for this one.
You have very good fun communication, Zach. We like your communication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful stuff happening.
Kidding, dude.
I was going to speak on plants, but I'm going to actually speak on something else now, but I also find a lot of joy in. I've made my own tinctures and all kinds of concoctions over the years. I do lots of my own stuff, so I do a lot with herbs. And I do love all of that. But one thing that I have really stuck to attention to is actually sound. So I was like, when I walked in, I'm like, oh, sound. I love sound. It has lots of instruments that I do sound with.
Oh, you do?
And so I do. And I'm very, very drawn to frequencies and sound.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Why do you resonate with that?
Well, everything is frequency. Everything has a frequency. And I think the more that we are able to tune our bodies to the frequency of the world, like that's where I think true healing comes from. Because then intuitively you know what your own body is asking for.
Oh, wonderful.
Are you Emily?
Thank you. That's awesome. This is Jennifer.
Is Emily?
Not yet. You know how strikers, right?
Yeah.
Good to see
Could
you.
I ask a question?
What's something that you find inspiring in the world and why or something like that?
It's good to see everyone.
Good to see you too.
Oh, what is something you find really beautiful or inspiring in the world, and why does it resonate with you?
Okay. So something I've been doing for since like ninth, is like I really like to attach myself to, I wouldn't say just like words, but like quotes from other people. Like I really like to take information and like almost hook a part of my like mind.
Yeah. You like a quote that sounds
Yeah.
like witty or wise to you, and you're like, ooh, I like that. So you like want
So
to have
yeah,
it
I like
for
to
yourself.
attach it and have it like almost to go back to it, to be able to like look back for almost help. So something I find, sorry, every time I speak about stuff, I always get emotional.
That's perfectly okay. Me too.
You'll fit
We're all
right
big
in,
babies
dude.
here, so you're perfectly fine like that.
We cry on the radio
Oh,
about this
yeah.
bitch, dude.
Yes, actually, I might need a second. It's so weird.
You're fine, buddy. You're fine.
It's like, yeah. It's I think, just speaking to groups, like, it's something. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
But I just find beauty in words.
Thank you.
I love that. That's awesome.
We share the same love for the same art, Luke. We're gonna have to talk later because
It's very eloquent.
I consider myself a word artist, and I can see that in you as well. It's beautiful. Thank you for being willing to show the real you here. Thank you, thank you, thank
So
you.
beautiful.
We
brother.
want that. You're exactly in the perfect spot because now you can be your real self and you don't have to hide your real emotions. What's wrong with feeling your emotions? Your emotions are yes, right? We want these.
Cry all the tears.
Feel them, and watch how you
Honor
just
those
love
feelings.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're lucky this is your first time here, or else everybody would have mobbed you for That's your first warning. Next time,
Like a dog pile next time. Thank you, Luke. That was so beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Thank you.
Ashley.
I think music's a really important thing, and I've been playing violin for a while, so I did it as a kid for like a month or whatever, and then I quit. So I restarted like last year, and I didn't know that in high school they didn't have a beginner's orchestra, so I got like thrown in with people that have been playing all their life, so I've had to catch up. I've found a love for classical, or like instruments in general.
Yes, so much yes.
I love
did.
Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
Yes, so good. Vivaldi Four Seasons.
Yeah, beautiful.
do you have a preferred classical artist?
Sometimes depends on the mood I'm in.
Who's your happy classical music artist?
That's hard.
Do you
I
like
could not even.
Do you like Vivaldi? Vivaldi is some good uplifting, like especially La Primavera, right?
Yeah.
That whole entire thing is just
The most recent song I've been listening to is, oh, I forgot the name, but it's by Brahms and
nice. I like that you like classical. Thanks for sharing, Ashley.
Right.
I think my biggest inspiration as of late has been you guys. I mean, I don't know, this like past few years you guys have known each other. It's just like, and like how I've seen you change and like how you guys are now is really inspiring.
Well, how did you see it go down? Like, I want to see your like, hey, what was it in the beginning? Like,
No,
I want to hear your
like,
take, your perspective.
I think just like the, I just mean, you guys just seem so happy and like it's like, I don't know, relationship goals, I guess.
That's a big compliment.
And,
Thank you.
I don't know, I just appreciate you guys so much because I feel like these past few years have just been like a journey. Like I've always like struggled with my mental health, I guess, and I feel like you guys have given me a lot of like words that I can use to like navigate my brain.
Yes, yes, and you've given us all the same. I mean, like, you're our teacher the same exact constant time. Like, you know that we're all just equal in this, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryder. That was beautiful.
Ryder saw me go through a really difficult time and health issues where I wasn't really mentally present for my boys for a few years, and so thank you.
For yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anybody,
Present for
of course.
anything, yeah. Thanks, Ryder. That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
What do I find beautiful or inspirational in the world? Probably just the world. I love just like going on a walk and like sitting down and just being like, or just sitting on my front porch and being like birds. Birds, the wind, smells, the grass, the lighting from the sun, what time of day it is. It's just really cool to like be outside, or like when you're on a long drive and you see like the cows or the deer on the side of the road. That's so cool to me. Like,
Oh, yeah, those magical moments.
there's a world.
Especially when they stop and they don't run away from you. They just stop and they just
stare at you.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's inspiring or beautiful for you?
I don't know, that's just crazy that like we're alive, we're people, and like there are these things
So
in this
much,
world.
yes.
And the world is this world. There's grass, trees make oxygen.
God, her enthusiasm is just so contagious.
Yeah, it is.
Danny,
Smile too.
Yes.
No, put on spot. Sorry.
No, she likes it. She loves to be loved.
That was awesome, Dan.
Thank you, Danny. Beautiful.
Why are you all embarrassed?
For me, it's really just people, but specifically, usually it's my older brother. Some of you have met him. He's come to Surrender Lab a few times. 2 years ago, and I've talked about this a lot with a lot of people, but 2 years ago, my older brother was incredibly depressed and he attempted to kill himself. And since then, I've just seen him push through that and push through his mental health. And it's been such an amazing journey to watch him be on. Because before he even knew Ken, one thing that Ken talks about a lot is manifesting what you want. And before he even knew Ken, he was doing that. And he was just going and doing what he wanted to do and what he knew he needed to do. And it's been incredible to see it. It's been 2 years ago. So before this all happened, he had a son with one of his ex-girlfriends. And it's been incredible to see him grow and as a person raise his son and change and watch as he learns to adapt to his mental health issues and learns to, I'm depressed, but I can get it through a day. And it's just so incredible to watch him do his thing. Like right now, he's out starting a new business for himself, a lawn care business. And I'm just so proud of how far my brother's come.
We were talking about it earlier. We were like, why wouldn't we hire Gavin?
Yeah.
And Ryder's like, well, wait, I want to do it too.
He's trying to undercut my lines.
Hey, maybe we should have a wrestle off. Wrestle off next Thursday night. 7:30 p.m. sharp.
So my brother's he's such a smart person, and for anyone who gets to meet him, he's just a joy to talk to, and he's a joy to have in your life, and he's just, one of the realest people I know, and I love seeing him change and adapt and learn, and he's just so inspiring to me.
Well, all you have to do is sit and talk to him, and you will just be smiling.
Yeah.
You're like, what? A human's like this? What?
Aw, thank you, Owen. That was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'm really nervous. So. Well, I think the one thing that I find most beautiful in life is like the unknown. I like to explore. I like to figure out like what it is about the unknown that like most people are scared about. Because I've moved 2 times in my life. I lived in Washington State, I moved to Tennessee, and then now I'm here in Utah. So I've had to restart, I've had to experience the unknown. And something about that just like, it connected me to like wanting to see more of it. Wanting to know why people are so scared of things that they don't know about.
There's a thrill in it.
Yeah, we get stopped by fear, and we're just like, and paralyzed, and we're just like, oh, my cocoon is a little more fun and easy, so I'm going to turn around and just keep on gratifying myself for a minute, because not ready.
Well, humans also resonate with routine. I mean, kids function with routine, but they're also exploring the new.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance between what routines are healthy and working and what's new. What are we finding that's new, and what are our challenges, and moving into that also.
Inspire. I'm
Thank you, Brandon.
I'm on everybody's page. Yeah, everything's inspiring to me. It reminds me of even cows in the road. You were saying, took me back to like at one point I actually was encountering cows in the road, and shoe fly don't bother me turned into moo cow don't bother me, and just drive over the mountains for taking pictures of the fall colors, and they weren't really a bother. They were around the road, they weren't on the road, and they were absolutely casual and just the most zen cows you've ever seen in your life.
Just to teach you that one single thing, that one single moment. They were outstanding in their field.
But I mean, what inspired me is collaboration and harmonization and the creation of new relationships, and then to see how they develop and their pits and valleys and ups and downs of dynamics. I mean, it's really easy to get caught up into like the double helix formation, where it's essentially 2 axes, but even DNA is made out of 4 different substances or proteins that are creating those 2 axes, and then you get multiple people involved, and it just becomes like a galactic thing. Like you got planets swirling around, spinning around other galactic bodies, and it's easy to see that in the relationships and interactions of people.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see.
Yeah.
And I like to try and get them to harmonize in ways that sometimes aren't necessarily really apparent to people.
You have an uncanny knack for this thing. Like when I first met you, I was like, what is this skill, man? I'm like, I've never seen this before. Like, just like the way that you guys talk about Elijah being like, wow, when you talk to him, he's got so much knowledge up here that you're just like, the back of your head starts hurting. Like, there's so much information coming in so fast, I can't compute. Well, it's kind of like that with the amount of data that you have just stored in your noggin. You just have, you basically, any question I've ever asked you, you've always known the answer to, and I've always been like pleasantly surprised at how much more effortless it was than, I was like, man, ask Link anything and you always get the answer you want. And better. That's what I
Not the answer you want, but it'll definitely be the answer that I know.
If you are seeking with bravery, I should put the clarifier on here. I promise you, don't go talking to Link unless you feel brave.
Yeah, unless you want the harsh truth, he looks right through it. He's like, okay, well, I can see what your problem is.
But he's also gentle, though. He's also got this big, gentle, loving.
Yeah.
The very first thing he'll do is tell you, yes, everybody. What is the purpose that you're supposed to? How you're supposed to approach everybody, Link?
With healing intent.
With healing intent.
All human interactions should be with healing intent.
Yeah.
Right. Well, right now,
That's
while we're all
not
still
that
trying to heal
difficult
ourselves,
to
and
do.
yeah, that's as COZSNUG as it gets. That's as empowering empathy as it gets. That's
And if we could start that at a ground framework, you know, get that ingrained into people, you know, the younger the better, obviously, because it's way easier to make a habit than to remake a habit.
Oh yeah.
right.
But yeah, no, if people can just be on the idea of healing intent with every, you know, everywhere they go, with every interaction, you know, and it soon shows the inefficiencies of monetization.
Oh my, that was so well said. Yes. Thank you. We are moving beyond, let's reiterate everybody, we're moving on beyond the transactionalization of the relationship. That's pretty easy to understand, right? We're moving beyond transactionalizing the relationship. There's no more like seeing people and saying, oh, you equal $100 to me. Oh, you equal 12. Oh, you equal. I mean, it's just a really limiting way to see that there was a real
I know.
because the numbers probably a little higher.
However you want to monetize, yeah.
Say that again.
It's points or dollars or votes or however you want to monetize.
Stars, points, all of it.
They're useful for, you know, collecting data and building systems, but for human interaction, it's grossly inefficient.
Well said. So if we want to be well-rounded creatures, then relatability is one of those pieces. We got a physical aspect of our life, we got a mental aspect, we got emotional aspects, we got social aspects, we got spiritual aspects, we got all these aspects, and they're all kind of overlapping, but we're only focusing on one, then what's happening to all the other ones? They're just over here suffering. We're suffering at some level because we don't have homeostasis, we don't have balance inside. And so by doing what we're doing, we're saying, hey, the planet needs this the most we think. Empowering empathy are the two most powerful words that the whole planet can hear right now. Let's empower our empathy, guys. Let's just do it. It's simple. Hear the words. It's real simple. It doesn't take any effort to do it. You're like, wow, cat's out of the bag. The cat really is out of the bag in a lot of ways, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
How's the cat out of the bag normally?
I was born in the year of the cat. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's actually, yeah, I know. I understand.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, no. It's crazy. The people are gonna be, I guess, have no choice but to just be able to see it for what it is, because we're all beings of love and light.
Yeah.
So light is frequency, and frequency transmits data and frequency. So when you come into the electromagnetic field of somebody else who's already, you can't help but be like, oh, what's going on inside me? That's. And then you get the breathers, and then you start sweating, and then they purge it out, and then it's like, oh, everybody's just. It's like that Perfect Circle song, Disillusion. If you watch the music video to that, it's so profound.
Let's watch it afterwards.
Yeah. It's like they're talking about ceremony, and they show this darkness. You just watch the video, it's right there. They have this darkness that's worshiping the digital, the phone, and they have it all on this altar. And they're like in the cloaks, and they got the VR on. And you can see the movements that they're doing and all the magic that they're doing. And they're putting this illusion over people's eyes in the music video. And this woman like willingly puts these contact, like this veil over her eyes. And then, but she's been with that spirit, so she kind of feels the truth a little bit. She's been exposed to the truth of it. She's like, wait a minute, there's a light behind that door. What's behind that door? So she goes and she opens the door. It's all black and white, and there's storms, thunder, and stuff. She goes out there and she's like, whoa. She starts walking in nature. And then she starts walking to the point where she sees this group of people together holding hands in a circle out in nature. And they welcome her in. They break the circle and they welcome her in. And the shaman, the woman comes up, the grandmother comes up, and she lights this like one of those flippos, like a butane lighter. She's like, look. She can't see it because she's still seeing the black and the white. She can't see the light for what it is. And then she's like, oh, I see what's going on. And she grabs the two things out of her eyes and she pulls it off and she goes like this. You can see the contact. And then she looks up and everything is vibrant with color. And then she goes, and she can see the flame again. And then she gives her the lighter as a tool. You are the light. take this light back. So she goes back in, and you see the beautiful nature, and now she closes that, and she goes back into the darkness. And she's like going to everybody that can, like lighting the light, and like, look at the light, and they're all like, get that away from me. What is that? Like, hold on. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, look at the light. And she's like, you guys gotta see this, you gotta feel this. And she's frantically, she's like, oh, I've seen the truth and that they're controlling everybody with this, so I just need to plug my device into the system. So she goes and she unplugs the main iPad while they're in ceremony, because they can't see her. They got their VR on. And so like she goes and she plugs it in, and she puts the video, because she was like recording the video, and puts it on the big screen. These people holding hands with the stars in the sky and the light and all the beautiful love and everything, and everyone is just, oof. They have no choice but to look at that and be like, wow, that's beautiful. But then the darkness feels that disturbance. Who did that? They unplug it, back into the program. But while that was happening and there was people looking at the light, she was able to get a few people, look at this, look at this. She was causing glitches in the system, be like, look at this. And they're like, oh wow, that's beautiful. She takes 3 more people with her to the mountains. They escape, and then she's like, oh, you're gonna love this, this is great. They're all walking up to the mountain that's full of love and color, and then they welcome them in, they all holding hands. And just while this is all happening, you just listen to the lyrics of A Perfect Circle. It's like, can I read the lyrics?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, sounds like
Let's let these other guys answer their questions, and then can we come back to that?
Yeah.
How about as soon as it comes to you, you read that first?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, it's kind of hard to follow such articulate and extravagant answers, so I guess I'll try. I'm inspired a lot by a few things. Philosophy the most. I really find myself in philosophy a lot. Natural rights, natural law, and spiritual alchemy, and the energy of universal independence. All those things inspire me,
And how they tie into music.
Yeah. And music too. I really enjoy making the music that I make. It brings me a lot of joy when I do it. I need to do it more often.
Can I just say something about that real quick?
Yes.
We just discovered Kelly's music like just a few days ago, and I've listened to it a bunch since because it's therapeutic.
Some of the music we listen to.
It's therapeutic.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Rama, talk about it.
Your music's really good. I'm gonna put it on later. I'm gonna put it on after this.
And just the whole concept of how you were so inspired by Goa-trance, and that you now have developed that kind of your own style. It's just, to me, the way you describe your music is like you're a musician of the highest order. Like I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of artists, and I just sit here and just bow down to what you put together, bro.
That would have been really interesting. I appreciate the compliments. It's hard to take compliments, but I'll try.
Well, it just is what it is, because when you said the spiritual alchemy or whatever you said about spiritual alchemy, that's a hard word for most people to digest and stuff, but when you mix that in with music, you start to understand it better. And I think you taught me that, to really, like, I'm just a baby, I want to just dive into it more. Like, I want to learn how to do what you do. Big time.
I got that if you're done.
Oh yeah, I think it's just
Let's let Rama go too.
Something that's really inspiring me right now that I've been thinking about a lot is connectedness. You know, Randy started by saying, you know, we're all one. But, you know, what does that really mean? I really think it really speaks to how each and every one of our actions, every single tiny movement we do is so interconnected with each other. It's intimately connected with every single person in this room. Me doing this is so intimately connected with so many actions and so many things and so many reasons people are here. It's like, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And the fact that, you know, the amount of people in this room, like what, 15 people in this room, are connected to so many more people just outside of this room. I think about, like, if you walk down the street and you smile at someone and they smile back. You know, you raise their mood from wherever they were. that's still affecting how many more people go online. The butterfly effect. The butterfly effect is so inspiring because I think it means that you, just as one person, can make a real difference in this world.
All the difference.
All the difference. Literally, all the difference. Because that's where it comes from right now, from you.
It's well said. Thank you. That was very beautiful.
Renee,
Okay,
ready
so-
for snacks, bro?
Okay, sorry. So it starts out with saying dopamine on dopamine on dopamine on dope. So it's like, the dopamine release whenever you get that text. And it's like, it starts out with that. And it says, we have been overrun by our animal desires. Addicts of the immediate keep us obedient and unaware. Feeding this mutation, this Pavlovian despair. We've become disillusioned, so we run towards anything glimmering. It says, time to put the silicone obsession down. Take a look around, find a way in the silence. It says, lie supine away with your back to the ground. Dis and reconnect to the resonance now. You were never an island. And it says, unique voice among the many in this choir, tuning into each other, lift all higher. And that's when she finishes that first ceremony. She goes back into the darkness and it says, dopamine on dopamine. And then she goes back into the darkness. And it's like willingly been rewired by the clever agents within. Looping our reflections, our obsessions draw us in. Fix and fixation, no sentience beyond. We've become disillusioned, so we dive like crows towards anything glittering. Then it says, time to put the silicone obsession down. Take a look around. Find a way in the silence. Lie supine, away with your back to the ground. Dis and reconnect to the resonance now. You were never an island. Unique voice among the many in this choir. Tuning into each other to lift all higher.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful song.
So beautiful.
And you
Those
put
lyrics are beautiful.
all right there.
Beautiful, thank
But
you.
if you're going down to being like, what's inspiring to me is that music, truth, transparency, authenticity, anything that resonates in the realm of love.
Right.
Because there's only two emotions that every single other emotion that we have stem from, and that's fear or love. So like hate, envy, greed, disgust, regret, all that stuff comes from fear. Love, empathy, compassion, laughter, joy, peace, like that's just serenity. That all comes from love. So just the question you have to ask yourself is, which reality do you want to create? Do you want to sit there and focus on the chatter in your brain and the thoughts that are sitting there making you live a miserable life, and you wake up to this existence not being grateful, and you're just like, man, I'm thinking all the time. Get out of the way of yourself and just find a way in the silence before you do anything in the day. Wake up and you sit in that space, quiet the mind. Oh wow, I can feel the birds outside. I can hear the wind in the trees. I can feel the buzz of life happening. You feel the it's like, wow, I'm here. And this is a gift. I'm in the present moment. That's why we call it present. Because the past is already happening, so is the future, because you're the one who's creating it. The past, the present, and the future are all happening right now. So now that we know that, now that we know that everything's okay in this moment, what do you want to create? It's like, let's see. Right? And now that I'm vibing at this frequency, that I literally am in tune with all the other frequencies, so what do I want to attract to my frequency?
Right.
What do I want to pull into my existence?
Right, you got a lot of support right now.
Yeah.
What do we want to pull in? What do we,
Yeah.
instead of the I, me, my?
And it has to be at that high vibration of love. Because it says,
Right.
there's no fear in love, because perfect love casts out all fear.
It's light that just illuminates the darkness.
Yeah.
Make this room dark, and then anybody turn on any little light. Look what happens.
I love that you say that, because I use that analogy. So like if you're in a completely black room and you turn this lighter on, what happens? What happens when you do that to the darkness? It has no option but to flee from that light or to be transmuted in its vicinity and become the light. So that's why it says, let your light shine into the world. And whoever lights a candle doesn't put it on a table. put it under a bushel. They put it on a table for the entire house to see. You can't hide a city on the hilltop. There's too much light in us. So it's like, well, now that you know that, we're a frequency, we're beings of love and light, and we transmit a frequency, and I see you as me, and I am you, and I see a reflection, and I see something that's wrong with you, and I acknowledge that I help co-create that inside of me, so I'm going to clean on that and transmute that inside me, and by doing that, you are healed.
Wow, thank you.
That's what Ho'oponopono is. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And by doing that, you're speaking to your subconscious, and you're saying, hey, look, subconscious, little me, little guy, I'm sorry, I love you, I really love you, and I'm sorry that we attracted this circumstance into our reality. Can you please forgive me for that? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you feel that immediately? He's like, yeah, because I'm always trying to get to the highest self. So it's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, like let them off the hook.
Yeah.
Let them de-stress, let them decompress, let them feel like there's a hope now.
Yeah, so I'm inspired by truth and faith and just love, divine love and divine law and order. Because that operates at a frequency like this. Because love on a sine wave, according to Dr. Greg Braden, it has been scaled like this. And so you have the wavelength and you have a trough and a crest of the wave, and if it's going like this, and you have someone that's vibing it up. By the time it goes through one cycle, you have the light that's made thousands of cycles through that, so it just cancels out. So whenever you're in that general area, the darkness has no choice but to either transmute and become that light or to leave it.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very well said.
It does whatever it wants, yeah.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
I want to hear Cass, what Cass has.
What's the question? That's
Question.
I mean,
What's something that you
It
find
is-
beautiful or inspiring in the world?
And why does it
And
resonate?
why does it resonate?
my children, because they are the future.
Oh, instant. Oh, that was
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Of course.
All the children, like, we're supposed to be like, we're supposed to love our inner child. And my children, I mean, they've been through this journey with me, but to watch them they are so empathetic. They're so kind, they're so loving, so understanding, and they're shy, but it's because they're so bright. Like, their lights are so bright that they just don't see that yet. And all the children should feel like they are the light.
Our bright spots.
Yes.
Yeah, we all are.
We all.
So.
And all of our inner children, like our inner child selves, we should be inspired by that.
Love that. It's so good. Yeah, you got
Because this is our playground. You've said that. Like, I've heard you say that.
Exactly, but we've been taking it so seriously that we are forgetting to laugh at ourselves.
Right.
And really remember that this is a playground we've created for ourselves. So
Right.
we can hear it or not.
Right.
We can enjoy our playgrounds or not. It's kind of simple.
So, but, yes. Just love.
Thank you, Cassie.
And growth.
Yes. Which we've
Is
all been through a
inspiring.
lot of that lately, right?
Yes. Yes.
We've seen some of each other's growth lately, haven't we?
Yeah. Yes, it's been beautiful. It's a beautiful journey.
It's so cool. So beautiful. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. What am I in the world currently? I'm most inspired and I see most beautiful what we're doing. I mean, it's honestly, if I had to do anything in my entire life right now, I'd be exactly right here. I promise. How could I be choosing anything else? This is pristinely perfect. And the surprises that we keep getting on a daily basis right now are like overwhelming to me. I'm just like one thing after another. I'm like, I want this to slow down the tiniest little bit because it's so good right now. Everything is hitting us in the butt. That But the thing I see as the most inspiring is that every single one of you that I've met, as I see you, hey, remember, this person's your teacher and every moment's instructive. I'm like, okay, what is it about them? And I find some little thing and I'm like, what? How do I say this word? How do I say what's going on here? Because what I'm seeing is that I saw them as a this or that for a minute, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing them as a really important teacher in my life. Holy cow! I don't care that they were 5 years old. What the hell just happened? I just learned all that from a 5-year-old. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Got the lesson, guys. What's my next thing? What's my next thing?
They're my constant teachers.
Constant, right? Oh my little Kenny.
He's
The experience we had the other day playing ping pong, to see his eyes and watch him when we were like just big old balls of energy, so playing ping pong. He's just there running back and forth. His eyeballs were just locked on us, like, can I play?
I know.
It's so exhilarating.
If
So
we
that's
could-
what I'm most inspired. Go ahead.
Sorry, if we could all see life through the eyes of a child,
Thank you, Kenny.
our world would. There would be no possible, like, there'd be no possibility for anything but a beautiful, like, future, a beautiful reality.
Yes. It's like a new little era. It's so simple. We just value new right now. I can be an inclusive one instead of an exclusive one. That's why I replaced the E, the exclusive, potentially exclusive E in Neo with an always inclusive I.
Exclusivity is stagnation.
It's just stagnation, but there's nothing wrong with it, right? If we do the big picture of things, there's nothing wrong with anything. If we really accept everything okay. Now, yeah, there's plenty of people that are wanting to stagnate, but why can't I honor them right where they are? Because that's their comfortable place right now, and that's where they're wanting to be, and they're choosing it, so why wouldn't I look at them with equanimity? Like, why wouldn't I look at them as equal to me? I'm doing whatever the hell I want. Why can't they be? Hey, as soon as I go into helper mode, and I'm like, hey, how can I help you in your life, get you what you want? Or, we'll look at everything that's hitting us in the butt. Every one of us is getting benefit because we are calling ourselves we instead of just me. And it's kind of a simple little thing. Life becomes more enjoyable when we are there to support each other. And I finally feel like I have like friends again. I had this before. I had friends before, but it's way different this time, right? I've had friends before because when I was a Mormon, I loved it. We had good community. We knew about how to actually look out for each other. I mean, every damn day somebody's bringing somebody food. I mean, it's just like a really beautiful environment. They figured out community and they're like, oh. But it's an exclusive world and there's nothing wrong with it. But the exclusivity is something that we're starting to shine light on because of the fact that I really like the idea of all the Mormon temples turning into inclusive spaces for communities to walk into and just have community time, like turn them into maker spaces or something. Talk about a peaceful, beautiful environment that's been created. Let's now give it to the people who it really belongs to. It's not an exclusive space. It was designed for love to begin with. Now let's show a brighter version of love than the exclusive version, right? So I don't have anything against the Mormon Church. I just want to help them become more inclusive and become one with all of us because they say they believe in love, and I know so many of them, and I know they do. And I already know that that's what we have together, and I see them with perfect equanimity now. Even the ones that judge me and see me as like an eagle, whatever, I'm like, you don't see how beautiful I see you right now. How can I possibly show that to you? I'm most inspired by the fact that I've learned everyone's my teacher, period.
Thank you.
That's perfect timing.
Yeah, we're just down out of time.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
you
all for sharing.
Yeah,
That's so
great.
much for sharing. Like,
Ash, we don't need to end right now.
No, we
because
can
there's no
just do that.
on the end on this. I would love to hear these guys chime in on this. It's perfect. Your contributions last night were perfect.
So great.
That's a good spot.
We have to go pick up a girl.
yeah.
You guys got cake?
We gotta.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, It's great seeing you again.
You too,
Brother Bear.
Such a wonderful
Thank you guys for having us. I actually had a really good time. Probably will see you again. So,
I have the spirit in music. I just don't have
Great to see all you guys. Great to see you guys. You were awesome.
Ken is wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm gonna like
charge a little bit.
like, hey, it was wonderful to meet you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great to see you again.
Bro, I wasn't sure.
Oh yeah, but like I am so happy to lose to you, honestly.
What is it? I'm watching it.
This is supposed to be a couple.
Oh my gosh. I haven't kept your guys'
Sorry, Ashley.
That is really cool.
Me and my brothers are all about it like that. I'm the youngest of the
A girlfriend?
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. That was great.
It was nice to meet you. You as well.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, great. That's okay. That's
I'm just like you. I talk to everybody. And every time I've been like, hey, it's great to see you. Especially in that race. Especially because you couldn't. Good times.